And with the benchmark rates steady since late 2020, Bangko Sentral Governor Ben Diokno says that a rate hike is on the table, likely by June. Diokno discusses his outlook for the economy, the local currency, and more on Bloomberg Daybreak Australia. Let's listen in.
The economy bounced back by 5.7% last year from a recession in 2020. And then we expect the economy to grow at 7 to 9% this year. And then we'll go back to our normal 6 to 7% henceforth. Okay? So, yeah, we see the improvements. For example, manufacturing index is 52.4.
Yeah.
That's the highest in 3 years. So plus foreign direct investment last year grew by 52.4%. Globally,
right.
Foreign direct investment went down, but foreign direct investment went up in the Philippines last year.
So is this something that reinforces? I mean, is that space since the March meeting narrowed for you to be able to say the economy is doing better, inflation's starting to rise, we're going to start normalization? And again, when do you think the first meeting could be where you actually hike the rate?
We have a meeting our next meeting is on May 19th, and so we'll look at the new data. And hopefully it will show a first quarter growth of maybe around 6 to 7%. And so on the basis of that, maybe we'll wait another cycle, we have another meeting in June. And maybe that's the time when we will consider the increase in policy rate.
I want to follow up on something that your counterpart, the Treasury Secretary, Carlos Dominguez told me last week when I asked him about the risk of aggressive Fed rate hikes, which was a big IMF warning hitting individual economies. He said that if the U.S. raises rates, the Philippines will want to follow. You don't want to get behind the curve. But what's your answer? Are you concerned about getting behind the curve or the impact those rate hikes could have?
No, the situation right now is, to me, what makes a big difference is the difference between the real interest rate in the U.S. and the real interest rate in the Philippines. Our inflation rate is around 3%. Yours is in the U.S. it's 8.5%. So given that, I think we can afford to wait as to what will be the move of the Fed in the next two meetings. Okay?
So you're not seeing second round inflation materializing anytime soon or in the coming months?
Right now, there's no evidence of second round effect on the demand side because, for example, the second round effect will be in the nature of increase in transport as a result of the oil prices and increase in wages, right? We don't see that happening, okay? Also, the other thing is real estate. There's an increase, significant increase in real estate in U.S. and other developed countries. We don't see that in the Philippines. Okay.
Governor, I just wanted to ask you about peso weakness as well. You're concerned about the currency's depreciation, and how is that factoring into your thinking and its potential pass-through to inflation as well?
Okay, good question. Inflation. The peso has depreciated at about the same rate, or in fact, it's at the middle of the depreciation of the other rate of the other currencies in the region. So we're not concerned about the depreciation. It is within our target range of 48 to 53 pesos. That's the assumption in our model. And that we have right now, we have a hefty gross international reserves equivalent to $108 billion US. That's 9.5 months worth of imports and payment of services. The receipt doctrine is 3 months worth of imports is enough, right? Plus, we have a steady source of foreign exchange revenues from the overseas Filipino remittances and the BPO, business process outsourcing. Between the two of them, that's already about 60 billion every year coming in.